Hello, good evening, everyone. We are about to start our Monday live session. I'm just gonna invite here our partners. Okay, let's just wait just a couple seconds so they can join us. Brunel is on the way. Good
evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are you,
Well,
Gabriel?
now we are just waiting for Sergio. Where's Sergio?
Well, first of all, I hope that the live today goes smoothly because I'm on mobile connection. So I've been also affected by the storm and, well, a part of not having power for a while. I don't have now, well, internet service at home. So, well, I'm relying on mobile connection, but it should be okay.
Yeah.
It should work.
Okay, in the meantime, I'm just trying here to add Sergio because I can see Sergio here, but something happened now. Okay, accept. It always take a bit time to get the whole team together, but Sergio is coming.
I see Sergio. I see Sergio over here. I'm really having some trouble with with the internet connection. Let me just check one thing over here. And yeah, well, let me just.
Okay, so
It's on working because mobile connection isn't isn't working great, but it is what it is.
we're
Good
gonna
evening,
try
everyone.
our best.
How are you today?
Oh, good. Oh, good. I mean, well, we're gonna address here some beautiful topic. So we invite everyone to join us and to chat with us. And well, first of all, my name is Gabriel Lima. I'm based in the Algarve, Gel Tours, Travel Algarve. And with me, we are having Sergio Costa from EV Tours, covering northern Portugal, as well as Leonel Rodrigues, who lives nearby Lisbon and covers the whole country too. And today we're going to address this aftermath of the storm Kristin. So we've been having a harsh winter, and we're going to address here some few topics. And well, we're going to jump to Lionel. So Lionel, let's start talking and let's start engaging here with people. So what do you want to
Well,
start saying?
good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you everybody for watching. What's going on? A lot of people have seen images, a lot of people have seen videos, a lot of people have read the news. I made a post here on the Portugal Unplugged that already reached 50,000 people, over 130 shares of my post. And in fact, I'm probably from, the three of us, the one that is closest to really the affected area.
Yeah.
And, was without power for nearly 60 hours. Last night and, today until almost noon, there was a power outage over here. Now I'm without internet connection. So, yes, even being very, very lucky, okay, it's affecting just a little bit my day by day, but of course a lot of people have lost pretty much everything, and it will take some time to recover. And you and me and Sergio and probably a lot of other guides already had people reaching out, asking, "Oh, should we postpone? Should we cancel? Things are so bad. Should we cancel?" The words, it's just this: no, don't cancel, because if you are canceling your planned trips to Portugal, you're going to harm Portugal even more and the people from here even more. And travel, in fact, it's about meeting people, connecting with people, not just seeing the sites and snapping the Instagram picture, But traveling, it's really about connection. It's really about the feeling. It's really about what difference you can make on people's lives. And there's a lot of people who lost everything. Well, the three of us, of course, we depend from a business that is somehow seasonal. It's just the three of us. But there's thousands of people out there that will be heavily affected if people cancel their trips. And I'm going to give just a few examples. I made that on my post. I gave some examples on my post. We have pretty much towns that were quite torn apart. We had a lot of industrial areas with big warehouses and factories that were all torn apart. And without business over there, you start imagining, okay, the little cafes, the little restaurants that live from those people who work on the factories, who work on those facilities, they are not going to make it. Then, if there are no factories, if there is no production, trucking companies, okay, they are not going to make it. And if there is no business activity, cleaning companies are not going to be called to clean the facilities. So this is a snowball effect. So what can people do? Well, in fact, do not cancel the trips. Of course, there are areas that are affected, but in fact, the areas that were mostly affected were areas that are not so much dependent from tourism. The popular areas that people go to travel, and some of them were not affected, some were affected, but there is a big effort to clean them. Okay, I haven't been in Sintra yet, but I will be in Sintra pretty soon because it had some issues with the storm. But in fact, I know that they work really quick, and probably next week there will be already plenty of buses coming through, or in a couple of weeks you will have all the floods of people going there. Because Sintra, it's popular, okay? So Sintra, a part of being very beautiful, and I love that place, it's, in this case, the least of my concerns, because I know that people will come back. But now, we'll talk about the places that no one hears about, and that's what I wanted to mention on my post, the post that people shared, and if you haven't seen it, it's here on the group. Please, have a look and share it. The places that are least or less known, okay? No one used to talk about the castle of Leiria, no one used to talk about the castle of Pombal, no one used to talk about Orem, Castelo Branco, Ferreira do Zezer, and so on and so on. And those areas will need some visitors, okay? Because if in normal situations they already don't get a lot of people, yes, Victor, I know Mosteiro da Batalha, it's temporarily closed. I read that already, and I have a tour to, plan to go there. I need to assess, what to do in a couple of weeks. But in fact, this is what's going on, okay? A lot of people are planning to come to Portugal just to visit the top places or the popular places, but they are forgetting that the country, it's way beyond that. As you usually say, Victor, Portugal is not only Lisbon and Sintra. And with the effect of this storm, this is really what people should do. Okay, people should come over here and should explore beyond the obvious, because there will be gratitude. There will be people really, really happy to get that little gesture, that simple gesture over there, or someone entering a cafe or restaurant, having a meal, having a snack, buying something in a little shop, whatever, okay? Thousands of small gestures will make the difference, okay? And the popular places, the overcrowded places, if they lose a few thousand people over there, they not so much they will be crowded and full of people anyway. So this is one of the things I really, really insist to people to plan their itineraries, to go a little bit beyond the obvious, to research a little bit more. There are beautiful places that no one talks about. We are here to help, okay? Because we know many of those places. We can help planning some of the itineraries, and of course, people need to explore a little bit beyond that. And I'm now going to just address another subject, and this is also very important. It has all to do with this. I don't know if you saw the images of the Ferris wheel at Figueira da Foz, that fell, and there was a car that miraculously escaped from the Ferris wheel falling on top of it. Well, of course, I'm not sure about this, but by the type of vehicle, by the make of vehicle and brand and model that was over there, parked in that parking lot, probably it was a rental. Now, a lot of people try to save money by renting cars. Nothing wrong with that. They can drive everywhere, but please rent with full insurance. It's going to save you thousands of euros if something goes wrong. And well, Portugal was not empty of travelers. Portugal was not empty of visitors. There were a lot of people with rental cars over there. Probably some of those people are already now, trying to get or trying to get around some damage because they probably didn't rent the car with full insurance. But the rental companies, they are making their business. So, and this was a storm. This was something that was not planned. But if people don't insure themselves, the storm cannot be blamed for that. So this will be a very tricky thing for some of people that normally try to save money on that. And then in the end, it's going to cost them a lot more. And just to finish, okay, and I know that I'm making this a little bit longer. A lot of people think that Portugal isn't to travel now. No, it is not. Okay, the areas that were affected, people are fixing, they are cleaning. If it's not safe, well, the authorities won't let people go through. Okay, because the roads are closed. The authorities are on the field, so if it's not safe to go there, they will, give you a detour, divert you to go somewhere. But now I need to ask this. People think that it's unsafe to come to Portugal because of what happened. But what we see constantly, it's people hiring, supposed professionals that we know. They don't have the mandatory permits, they don't have the mandatory insurances, and pretty much, they are just good folks and based on reviews online. But people hire that because, it's for fun, okay? But they don't care about the safety. So if people feel that it's not safe to travel to Portugal now because of what just happened, people need to look a little bit beyond and really assess who they are hiring, because with the lack of tours, with the tours decreasing from now onwards, there will be a lot more people cutting corners, okay? And as someone that just paid my yearly insurances for the company, today, technically yesterday, I'm pretty much safe about that. I know that some people might cut corners because we don't need this, we will work anyway, and we know that happened. Okay, we know that happens. We already found a few people and some popular names online. We already found about some of those. But safety is paramount. That's what we can say over here. Okay, sorry if I'm feeling a little bit not so nice today, but in fact, what's going on? It's it's overwhelming. Okay, and the images we've seen over here and the reactions we are getting from people that are on the field, it isn't easy. Yeah. But let me go now towards Sergio. Sergio, might smooth the mood a little bit, and then I'm going to read the comments over here. Okay, so sure. Sergio, what do you have to add over here?
So good evening, everyone. I know it hasn't been easy over the last couple of days, weeks, and I would even go as far as to say it hasn't been easy for the last couple of months over here, especially over here in the north. The other day, my wife and I, we were discussing, and the rest of the family, we were discussing about when did the bad weather start over here in the north, and we pinned that to around mid-November, but now we're basically getting the brunt of it. Up until now, it's been just regular, traditional fall and winter weather for the north of the country. It's basically what the Americans like to say, it's par for the course. So nothing out of the extraordinary except for the last 10 days or so. So, and it's still not over. So I'm just gonna get the brutally honest stuff out of the way. We still have two more storms incoming. One is about to hit us starting tomorrow and for the next day or two, and then the other one is about to hit towards the end of the week. So it is what it is, and we already had the cautionary tale of the bad storm, the Ingrid, and then all of the other ones that followed the Joseph, and now we're gonna get hit by Leonard. So we already had the cautionary tales. So now people are ready. They are bracing for these next couple of days, and so measures have been put in place so that people and goods are safe. So this is the honest stuff that we're still in the middle of it. We're still not through the bad storms. But for people coming over here, what can we do? Or what can you do? And so what Lionel was saying, and I want to emphasize that a little bit more once again, it's all about the empathy. People who have lost so much over the last couple of days, they're going to feel very warm and welcoming for anyone who wants to visit them, to see how they're doing, to learn a little bit about their histories. And that's when people who reached out to the locals who are struggling, who have suffered, who have experienced some sort of loss. Um, these are the people who are going to share the most intimate, the most heart breaking and heartwarming stories that they had, what went wrong for them, but also things that went right. And for example, there are several places where they're going to tell you, oh, I've had this business over here since the 60s or the 70s, and or it was passed down from my grandparents. And even though I was not able to salvage this, I was actually able to salvage that. So there's going to be a whole lot of stories that people are going to share for the next couple of days. And this is what Lionel was saying. It's all about the connection. So, more than places, Portugal is built by people, and people have history, and we are more than willing to share. Fortunately for me, I don't have any sad story to share because over here in the north, I've been relatively safe. But people around Lionel, so central Portugal and whatnot, they are struggling through a lot, and you can pass by, stop by, hear some of those stories, visit some of the locations. It's almost like I know it's going to be a bit of a stupid comparison, but for example, it's like going to Paris and seeing the Notre Dame after it burned down. I'm just remembering this example because I very recently watched the Notre Dame movie. And yeah, it was sad. You were not able to see it at its prime, but well, uh, Notre Dame did not suffer from touristic loss or anything like that because
No.
there's story attached to it. And so that's a good thing. People come together, they are very resilient, and they share the stories that they have, that they experience, that they live through. So this is going to be the main takeaway for you. So as for safety concerns, I share in 100% of what Lionel has been saying so far. So safety is paramount. Do not cut corners. I was talking with a couple of friends. The touristic season is definitely very low this year. The low season is very low this year. People are, maybe some of them are starting to get a little bit desperate for some business. They are starting to cut corners. It went on to the point where I actually seen some of those guides that Lionel has been talking about. They have been writing reviews of themselves in other sites, platforms, and whatnot, which is crazy. It's almost like uh, they don't have anything else to do. But well, it is what it is. So make sure that you're safe, and beyond all of the car rental and respectable guys, make sure that you guys are safe because again, everything changes in an instant. And I recall, for example, last week I went to the Douro Valley towards the end of the week. And it's actually very common to see people who neglect, and I'm going to give you just this very simple example. People who neglect the maintenance of their cars, they neglect the tires and the curvy roads with the wind and the rain and the ice on the mountain roads. Well, if you neglect the maintenance, then chances are that you're going to slip. And it's when the rain started, the rainy season started, it was very common for me to see 4 or 5 accidents on the way to the Douro Valley, and then another 3 or 4 accidents on the way back from the Douro Valley. Fortunately, none of them seemed to have involved touristic vehicles, but well, one never knows. Now, to end up, at least my participation over here on a bit of a higher note, um, safe places in Portugal. So Portugal actually has a very interesting topography. And considering the kind of weather that we are experiencing, I would say that anything that is highlands, especially because of the high winds and the gusts of wind and the rain that we've been experiencing, anything that is in altitude should be avoided at this time of the year. So I'm talking, for example, even though it's very beautiful, it's very gorgeous, Serra da Estrela, don't go there, or don't try to go there on during this weather. The rain is, we have a very decent snowpack up there right now, but that snow is probably going to last well into May. And the weather will be improving substantially on the second half of February. So that's your best chance of going over there. Don't go to places like um, so the mountain ranges between Porto and the Douro Valley, the Marão, the Alvão, Serra das Meadas, Montemuro, etc. Avoid those places as well. Again, very beautiful, but very treacherous. Temperature drops fast, and there's a very high likelihood of ice on the road. National Park of Peneda Gerês, very beautiful. The waterfalls are roaring right now, but that place is going to be one of the rainiest places on Earth over the course of this week. So that's one of the places that you should avoid. People coming over here. I actually posted today about the Douro Valley, and precisely because we have the mountain ranges separating the ocean from the Douro Valley, it's actually relatively spaced to go and visit. And I was there again. I was there last week, and it was just business as usual. Some of the cruise companies operating out of Pinhão that do those 1 to 2 hour cruises, they were still operating. So the river is peaceful, it's tranquil. There's going to be a lot of waterfalls on the side of the road across the river where the train tracks are passing, but it's 100% safe. The waterfalls are not hitting the road, and it's a beautiful spectacle to see because it is safe to do it. So Douro Valley is one of the locations where you can go. Other places that I typically recommend right now, it's actually just people sticking to the south of the country. So anything south of the Tagus River, for example, even going to Alentejo, maybe even down to the Algarve, pay a visit to Gabriel, for example. That's probably going to be one of your safest bets to enjoy Portugal. But yeah, on the way up, why not check out some of the places? Oh, and by the way, another one that you should definitely avoid, um, Nazaré. I know that with this very bad weather, it's very enticing because there's very high chances of seeing those huge waves over there in Nazaré. But as we mentioned on our live last week, well, we have seen videos of people just being blown away by the wind, trying to crawl up the road from the lighthouse all the way up to Sítio. They were basically on all fours just to avoid being blown by the wind. So the spectacle of the waves is not worth putting yourself at risk to enjoy it. There's going to be other options. The waves, they are weather dependent, and also they have to do with the geology, the underwater geology of the place. And so they're going to happen on a year that is probably going to be more favorable. So this was my tidbit. For me right now, if you're visiting to Portugal over the next 2 weeks or so, I would preferably, to avoid a little bit of the bad weather, focus on the inland locations and also focus on the southern part of the country. That is my biggest advice. And it doesn't matter if you have just 1 week or 2 weeks. It's you have plenty to do in Alentejo, in Algarve, and if you want to include the north, well, I would probably do it over the next couple 2 weeks or so. If you're staying here over the next 2 weeks, I would probably include the north, but just as a small portion of your trip. So Gabriel, the guy that is always enjoying the sun, he's also getting a little bit nervous about the rain that we've been experiencing over here. Gabriel is very poorly used to rain, so I want to hear your
Yeah.
impressions now.
Well, I'm not nervous at all, but I got you. I mean, so I live in a place who's known for the sun, and yes, the Algarve is a sunny place, and of course, we had some rain last year, some storms in a row, and this year it's been really miserable. Honestly, I don't remember a month of January and now February like this. I do remember in 1989, especially October and December with loads of rain. We had 54 days with rain and some days with heavy rain and floods, big floods, and even fatalities. But sometimes this happens. Too much rain over paradise. It's the name of a song I like very much. Well, but it's not funny at all. But guys, it's not just in Portugal. I don't like comparisons, but I know people now they are struggling in Florida. It's much colder than here, way colder. I mean,
They
they
are
are freezing
breaking
there.
records. They are breaking
Man,
records.
breaking records exactly with over a century. It's already the third day, very, very cold at night. Even Miami went down to almost zero, so freezing. Orlando, it was colder than some spots in Iceland and in Canada. I saw some comments, some people from Quebec teasing a bit of the snowbirds who who run away from the cold, but now they are. I mean, so this is not funny at all because
Yeah,
I
speaking
totally
of
understand.
Florida, let me interrupt. I don't know if he's still over here on the chat. I saw him saying hi a couple of minutes ago, but we do have a person over here watching. I don't know if Thomas is over here, but he can definitely chime in from Florida because he's actually local from there. And yeah, I saw one of his posts earlier and saying for people to stay warm, stay safe, stay indoors.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is happening a little bit throughout the northern hemisphere.
definitely. So this is just a comparison, but it's to put these things in perspective. I don't think people will start canceling their trips in a few weeks, 2, 3 weeks to Miami or Tampa or whatever, because now it's freezing. Even the Everglades is almost like freezing. The alligators and all these kind of vegetation and fauna, they are really struggling. And people
Yeah,
for sure
iguanas
there,
falling
they are
from the
very depressed.
trees.
Yeah, exactly. They're falling from the trees. So just to put this into perspective, but it's been harsh. Even locals here, and we're so used to the sun that we struggle when we don't have this our warm sun. So we are having some breaks here and there, but it's not enough. We are eager to get our sun back. Not just us. I work with tourists. I work with experts. So I know everyone who are staying here now they are a bit frustrated, and I totally understand. I feel this frustration too, and maybe I'm already losing it because we are tour guides, so maybe some people they would be booking us, and now they are not booking us. So everyone is losing, but we have to embrace this, and we have to be resilient, and we have to overcome. I mean, I wrote a few days ago, and I'm going to keep writing about this. We are a country with almost 900 years hold, right? So we are resilient. We're gonna overcome this. But the point is, we live in a nowadays we live in a era different from every other eras. Okay, so in 1941 we had a massive storm in Portugal, massive, maybe as big as Kristin. We don't know. We only know the wind reached almost under 70 kilometers per hour, not more, because then the setup there, the gadget gone. So we don't know, but these things happens. Exactly 72 years ago today, I shared this on our group. We got loads of snow in the Algarve, snow in Albufeira, in Lagos, everywhere on the beach. There's a photo of Fuzeta with Armona Highland with snow. So now imagine if something like this happens, it's going to be the end of the world. No, I really believe in climate change because it's been always like this, and for sure, a human, we are boosting these changes. But these are also cycles. So today, just because this year we are having this very rainy day, it does mean weather. It does mean we're gonna have this weather in March or April or maybe next year. I said this a week ago. I remember a month of January with just 30 days of sun. But I mean, it is what it is. So the thing is, we need to overcome our struggles and frustrations, because most of us we are complaining about the lack of sun. Most people nowadays in central Portugal, they don't even care about the sun. They just want to recover from the catastrophe that hit them, right? So they are really struggling, and this is sad because we are Portuguese, and we feel this when there's some kind of a calamity, kind of a catastrophe, wherever it happens, we all feel. Even in other countries, of course, we are humans. We are all very linked. And I've been watching today. I saw one or two videos about expats living in central Portugal, and there was a lady. It was really sad to hear this because she was hit by the big fires of Portugal 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and now again she was hit by the storm. I mean, but where is that place in the world where you can say that bad things will never happen? We don't have this kind of place in the world. So we just need to keep moving forward, and we can do our best. Okay, so I would say, of course, I know February we don't have many people visiting the country, but some people, they are coming, and more people, they are coming. And of course, sometimes what I see now is people, they are complaining a bit about the weather, and they are telling, oh, don't come because it doesn't worth it. I mean, I'm going to say something, even though we are having rain here in the Algarve, everything is pretty normal. Today, we had some breaks. It was possible to do things. And of course, sometimes here and there, we had some showers, and now it's raining again. But the rain will stop by, I was checking here, the rain will stop at dawn. So tomorrow, I'm going to run a tour with 5 Canadians. And this group of 5, they're going to stay here for about a month. And we're going to run 6 tours in total. So we're going to run a tour tomorrow, then on the 5th, the 9th, the 10th, the 16th, and the 18th. Of course, we can manage a bit. If one day is raining too much, we can postpone or something. But the thing is, I just told them that tomorrow, well, we're going to try to do our best. I'm going to try to avoid the rain here and there if it's possible, because the people who've been working with me, they know I'm always checking when we have this kind of weather. I'm always checking the satellite imagery, the radars. So I do my best to avoid this and that. And usually we have good days anyway. I just check here, and for instance, tomorrow for the Algarve, what we're going to have here. So from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m., we're going to have just a few clouds. The wind is going to be around 25, 30 kilometers per hour. So it's nothing. It's not a storm, or it's just an ordinary winter day. So what does it mean? Although tomorrow we have the orange alert, because the ocean is quite choppy and big waves. The thing is, we're going to have a pretty much an ordinary day today. And then, of course, throughout the night, then we're going to be hit by another storm. But when we see a storm, we are talking about a normal storm. And usually these storms, they come 3-4 hours. Of course, sometimes they are a bit heavy in northern Portugal. Sometimes they are a bit heavier here. But it's going to be something normal, nothing like Kristin. Kristin, it was something totally different. It was a big catastrophe. We had winds that we never had here in Portugal, at least since we have the records. So, but guys, the thing is, we're going to still struggling here for the next few days, maybe 5 or 6 days with rain here and there, but then things, they tend to normalize. And even in those areas were hit hard, and people, they are struggling, like you both said, I'm not going to repeat, people, they are working hard to recover as fast as they can. Trust us, everyone who owns nowadays a cafe, a restaurant, they are fighting to get the business back, and then they need help. So what I'm going to say is, don't get too anxious because you are reading people here, don't come here, don't. Okay, I agree, today it's not the best day to be here, but maybe in 6-7 days, 10 days, maybe March, it's going to be absolutely amazing in April. So, I mean, I don't understand why people, they say this. I understand, but I don't understand because, nowadays the words, they are very powerful. And when we create a wave, we can create a hype. And sometimes we have places here, and sometimes there's a big hype around Portugal, which doesn't match the reality too. And then sometimes people, when we need people to say, no, the weather is going to be fine, just keep your plans because in May it's going to be okay. Sometimes we see people, of course, they don't do this consciousness, but they are actually arming. They are doing even worse because if people they love Portugal, and we know people they love Portugal, just like we love our beloved guests, 2026 it's the year to show the love for Portugal because we need to recover. I'm talking now also economically. If people they stop coming here because well there was some storms in winter, lots of people they're gonna start struggling here too. And like I think it was you, Serge, you said something about empathy. I mean, what goes around comes around, and definitely it's when a friend is struggling, it's when a destination is struggling, that's when we show our true character. And then instead of complaining a lot, because we have reasons to complain, but then sometimes we forget that I'm complaining about the rain while other people they are complaining about the roof gone. So I think we need to be brave, resilient, and we need to do more, when people they need us. This is the way I live, and I'm pretty sure you are the same. And most people, have to be honest, most people they are very supportive. But hey, well, I'm yeah, it's already 35 minutes gone, and for sure I want to finish with some good mood here too. And what I'm gonna say is, guys, just trust Portugal. It's gonna be here. We are here. We are warmer and welcoming than ever. And don't spoil your plan just because we are struggling now with some rains and some storms, because it's not gonna last forever. And maybe next year it's gonna be a very nice winter. So this is how this is what I want to draw you. I want to draw with this positive message, and well, just ask us for help about the weather, whatever, because we're gonna try to help you as much as we can. Lionel, I don't know if you want to add something more, and you, Sergio.
Oh, well, pretty much. Well, the two of you just complimented, well, the subject very well. And yeah, stay positive. That's the message. Stay well. There's always the glass half full. And as I was mentioning in here, well, supposedly from around the 9th, February 9th, 10, the weather will start changing. Of course, all of us, we are, well, sick of this weather, but the weather is going to start changing. And in fact, well, in a few weeks, the sun will be shining. We'll be outdoors posting amazing pictures. And well, life goes on. So it's all about positivity. So well, what I really want is to have people visiting, have people really acknowledging that, okay, we are struggling, but well, their help is precious. And if anyone has some well, doubts or some second thoughts about well, any place or something, well, post on Portugal Unplugged, send us a message, ask your questions. We are here to help, because I've been saying this very, very often. What I really want is people to go back home and to say,
Well,
we
I
had
think
an amazing time in Portugal. Okay. What annoys me is to see people just getting their frustration building up because they were not aware of something, or they were not so well advised by whoever advised them to come to Portugal. So this is it. Well, Sergio, you want just to close it, to sum it up from my side?
Well,
I'm done.
just a couple of final thoughts. We've already been through the worst, I would say. We still have two more storms
I
coming,
think so.
but
Yeah, I
I
think so.
think, but it's nothing along the scale or the magnitude of the last ones. And just remember this: streets will be cleaned again, monuments will be washed again, trees will grow, flowers will bloom, Portugal will be here. And this is going to be the year for you to come over here. And I was just thinking about last year when we all went through that massive blackout that lasted half a day over here, and we all survived. We all pulled through, and we got some amazing stories out of it. What went good, what went bad, how did we fare, where were we? There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna open their businesses again. They need your support, but you're also gonna have amazing stories if you take your time to slow down and to listen to those people, to connect with them. So yeah, things will go back to normal. We like the our American crowd likes to say, we will rebuild, and things will go back to normal sooner rather than later. And if you support us, they will go back to normal sooner. So that's it. Don't be afraid to come over here. The people will still be the same. We are very fortunate. In fact, I was actually reading an article earlier today about we were very lucky that the storm hit at 4 a.m. instead of 4 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Bec-
Oh yeah.
because
Do you remember last year, more than a year ago, Valencia?
yeah,
300 people died. Why? Because it was 7 p.m. It was the rush hour.
yeah,
So it could be
yeah.
way worse. It could be.
So we got off relatively easy. So yeah, things are going to look a little bit different from what you're used to or expecting, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be worse. So you can confidently come over
Yeah.
here, and we'll be here to help you make the most out of your trip. Don't hesitate, reach out, and well, that's all there is to it. So, for everyone, from my end, I wish you all a nice week. And well, we'll see you again next week. Once again, hopefully, when the sun will start shining a little bit.
Well, guys,
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna finish now with a very positive message because I forgot to say this, right? Sometimes we talk about some topics who are not so popular, but we have always a great message. As for the Algarve, let me tell you something. It's going to be one of the most beautiful springs in the past 15 years. And why? Because instead of very dried rivers and in creeks and springs, we're going to have water all around. So it's going to be one of the most beautiful springs around here. As soon as the rain stops, I'm gonna do a beautiful tours and people they're gonna see Mão Chique and Halt and Pego do Inferno and so many other spots bubbling with life and water and green. So, you know, the weather is the weather. Sometimes, yeah, it's really annoying and bad, but it's always return with even more power. And just to finish, I'm just gonna second here, Monica, Tobar, my dear, you are so close to me. Portugal is over 900 years old. Not over, but almost there. So we're gonna overcome this. And Pat Ford, my beloved friend too, from California, and she said, Portugal never disappoints. That's it, guys. Thank you very much for being here. And like you said, Lionel, people just post. We're gonna try to help you as much as we can. And also from my end, I just want to wish you a great week ahead. And we're gonna be back here on Monday, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna bring better, well, even better news for you. Okay, guys, stay tuned. Bye bye. Good evening.
Bye.
see
Have a
you
great
next
week.
Monday. Bye. Have a great week.